Okay, here's a question from Amber. Hi, Helen. I was wondering how social anxiety can be approached on the path to awakening. Over the years, I've tried to resolve it by various means, including just putting myself out there in social situations, even though I was terrified. I found that to help temporarily. I've found that to help temporarily, but then the feelings of unworthiness creep in, and I start to ruminate about everything I said and did. No matter what I do, I can't seem to feel comfortable around other people. Is it a matter of contemplating people? Is it a matter of contemplating the limiting beliefs that I have? Or is it something that will slowly dissolve as I become more established in the self? What would you recommend? Thank you.
It's very, very common, this social anxiety, isn't it? And I know it really is quite a traumatic thing to deal with. And what you described is many people's experience. It was my experience as well. So I try to put myself out there and really feel more comfortable around and just push through it. And then when I can't seem to manage to do that, I blame myself more, feel more unworthy. Why can't I transcend this? And, all those thoughts come up. And then the fear is heightened, so is the unworthiness. So I might try even harder or try something different. And if you can see that the fear and the unworthiness are kind of linked in this cycle, that it's both of these that are perpetuating it, and that pushing through it sometimes is helpful, but if it makes you more traumatized by doing that, by just kind of trying to get out there, then it's going to be counterproductive, really. And you've asked this, should I kind of contemplate, or is it just naturally going to go as I awaken further? And I'd say both, actually, rather than or. I would suggest looking at this from several angles. So as you go deeper into your own awakening, it's going to become clearer and clearer that there are no other beings. And you can really use that as a question: are there any other beings? And even though it may seem, of course there is. In my own awakening, I really had to ask this question, because I was quite happy and peaceful at home on my own. And then when I had to go to a birthday party or a train station or the airport, it was, really quite a different thing. So I had to really ask this question. And I came to see that there aren't any other beings. There's only one, but there's many body and minds, individual, unique expression of this infinite being that we are, that the only thing that is. And that the more I think about other people, the more they seem to be separate to me, the more I'm coming from my mind around this, the more the very act of thinking about someone makes them seem outside of me, separate to me. And that's a vicious circle then, because the more they seem separate to me, the more it seems to make sense to think about them. Are they going to like me? Have I said the right thing? Are they judging me? And I'm judging myself, judging them, and around it goes. It just kind of spirals then into this ever decreasing circle. So for me, it really helped to kind of look at this. There's other bodies, but are there other beings? And even though my mind and my emotions were screaming at me that they are, something was just tired of being limited and suffering. And I know you're in that place, of course, where I just wanted to stay with this question, recognizing that maybe the fear and the unworthiness are actually symptoms of thinking there are other beings rather than the main issue itself. So our mind may be trying to get us to get beyond the fear of other beings, to get comfortable with other beings, when actually we might be at a pivotal point in our awakening where we're ready to see there are no other beings. And we might have seen that in our inquiry, in our meditation, or in a little glimpse, or not. Maybe we haven't seen that yet. But for me, I still had to then look at this idea, this sense that there was something different in the airport. So when I'm sat at home here on my sofa with a cup of tea, and there was such a different feeling between those two experiences that it was really quite telling that I had seen that there was no one else, and there was such peace in seeing that. But I had to actually apply it then when I was in those situations for a little while. And now I can be surrounded by people or here on my own, and it doesn't make any difference in how I feel at all. There's no suffering. I still prefer time on my own. Still like to chill out here with me and my cat more, than I'm never going to be a social a party animal and all that, and that's okay. As long as there's no suffering or we're not hiding at home, that's the difference. So looking at maybe this is something going really right in my awakening, not something that you're doing wrong. And maybe it's time to finally transcend this idea once and for all. So questioning is there actually any other beings? And of course, your mind's going to give you a lot of answers to that question. It's going to tell you, of course, there aren't any other beings. There's only one being. And then it's going to tell you, it's going to tell you lots of thoughts about other beings, when you go back into that normal thought stream. It's going to tell you thoughts about you as a separate being as well, whatever it's saying about you, probably some kind of judgment about you. So just really looking at that, there seems to be other beings. And yes, we're not negating there's other bodies. But if they're not other beings, if they're not separate to me, then this fear and this constant trying to make someone like me, this constant push-pull that most people do with each other, begins to fall away. So yes, it will resolve itself as awakening deepens, but in these big sticky patterns like this, I find a lot of people, myself included, needed to do some sustained questioning. So maybe take it on for 30 days. I'm just going to sit with this question for 30 days, for a couple of minutes each day, and just see what answers come up. Whatever happens, whatever answers come, noises outside, emotions arising inside, thoughts, experiences, just always coming back to that question. The question is the most important thing. Whatever answers come will come and go. But just by questioning this consistently, we can't be sustaining the old thoughts about others, me and other. So consistent questioning is going to pull us out of that thought process. And you might also have to apply it when you're out with others too, if you can remember. If not, it's okay. Sometimes the fear kind of overwhelms the system and it's impossible to even remember what the question is. I used to write it down and stick it on a note in my pocket if I knew I was going to be somewhere where I might forget it. So not judging yourself at all. It's actually a very advanced issue to have, so to speak, fear of others, because it's showing us we're ready to let go of this idea of other. It doesn't mean we're going to flip the other way. We're going to be a complete doormat where we do everything that everybody else wants. It just means we're going to have the right attitude to be in correct relationship with people. So I know when I love being around people, I know also when I want some time on my own, and that's healthy. That's a healthy way to be. So I hope that helps, but please do write back in if you need further advice with that. Thanks, Karen.